Tonight's lesson is Unit 1, Lesson 15. We're going to multiply and divide with 1 and 0. Our first 1 through 6 are introducing the children to parentheses. And they're learning that parentheses are done first in an equation. So when they solve these tonight, the parenthesis has to be solved first. So 4 times 2. 4 plus 4 would be 8. And I usually have the kids write the answer right underneath of it. Or they can write it right on top. It doesn't make any difference. But I would do it in between the parentheses. That way they know that's the total of that parenthesis. In this one, again, I would do the parentheses first. So 2 times 5, or 5 plus 5, would be 10. And I'm going to let you solve these here, because that's good practice for you. 0 times 9. If I have 0 pockets with 9 gumballs and no pockets, then I have 0 gumballs. This one they should be able to do by themselves. This one has an extra equal sign. It's a typo in the book. So, for number 5, I have this equal sign right here, and I have this equal sign right here. So this part of my equation has to be equal to this part of my equation, which has to be equal to this part of my equation. So if we look at it, 3 times 9 equals 9 times, and by the commutative method, we know now this is 3. Now I can actually multiply the 2. 9 times 3, I can use my fingers by putting the ninth finger or the third finger down. 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So I put a 27 inside the box. For number 6, again, I have the parentheses to solve. So 3 times 2, 3 plus 3 would be 6. And you can finish solving the rest. Let's look at the equation for number 1, or for number 7. Paul put birthday candles on his brother's cake. He arranged them in an array with 8 rows and 1, and I'm going to cross column out here and put each row. You put 1 in each row. So I know my each here. And I'm going to put my multiplication sign there, my equal sign there. How many candles did he put on the cake? That would be my total. That's what I'm looking for. Do I know how many rows I had? He arranged them in an array. There it is, 8 rows. 8 times 1, 8 pockets, 1 gumball in each pocket. I would have 8 gumballs. 8 times 1 equals 8. N equals 8. I'm going to go back. How many candles? 8 candles. And I box my answer. There are 24 people in the brass section of the marching band. They stood in an array with 4 people in each row. How many rows were there? Well, here's my each. Let's read that again. They stood in an array with 4 people in each row. So I know I have 4 as my each. I can put my multiplication sign there, put my equal sign there. 24. Do I have 24 rows with 4 in each row, or do I have 24 people? I have 24 people. And I need to find out how many rows I have. Okay. When I have a missing factor here, I do the opposite operation. So I have 24 divided by 4 equals n. And my marker is kind of thick, so if you can write it down here, that might be easier for you. I really don't have one way or another that I prefer, just so that I can read it. Now I can take 24 divided by 4. I can either use the grid that I brought home, or I need to count by 4s till I get to 24. So I can start out 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm at 24. How many times did I have to count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 24 divided by 4 equals 6. I have to label my answer. N equals 6. How many rows? 6 rows. And I better box my answer because I'm on strike 2 right now for mistakes. Let's look at number 9, Freya. Freya doesn't like peppers, so she grew 0 peppers in her garden. She divided the peppers equally among her 4 cousins. How many peppers did each cousin get? Well, when I see the word each next to my question mark, I know that's my unknown. I'm going to put in my multiplication and my equal. Well, she has 4 cousins. They each get the same number of peppers, and she has 0 peppers. It says she grew 0 peppers. I'm missing a factor, so I have to do the opposite operation, which would be divide. Big number comes first, 4. Actually, this would be 0. Zeros are tricky. 0. She has 0 peppers. She's going to divide them among her 4 cousins. They each get how many? Well, if I have 0 peppers and I divide them among my 4 cousins, they don't get any. I don't have any. So N, label my answer, N equals 0. How many peppers? 0 peppers. Number 10. Cal had 6 comic books. After he gave 1 comic book to each of his cousins, he had none left. How many cousins does Cal have? Well, he gave 1 comic book to each of his cousins. So 1 is my each. How many comic books does he have? 6. Well, that's my total. He doesn't have 7. He doesn't have 10. He's only got 6. So how many cousins does he have if he gives each cousin 1 book? And he has 6 of them. Opposite operation. 6 divided by 1 equals N. I'm going to solve it. 6 divided by 1 equals 6. N equals 6. How many cousins? 6 cousins. N equals 6 cousins. So now you need to go back and you need to work on these up here for tomorrow. And that's the end of tonight's lesson, Unit 1, Lesson 15.